Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're doing okay. I'm not going to read through the full article. I'm going to give you an overview as best I can, and then we'll skim through to make sure that we give you all of the right information, all of the important information. There's a link in the description if you'd rather go through that yourself. It's in regards to the lady that you see in front of you. Her name's Karen Lutonen, and in April 2009, she gave birth to a baby girl, and it was stillborn. The baby girl was stillborn, and Karen panicked, and she essentially dumped the baby girl's body in a trash bag in the woods in an area in rural Wisconsin. Again, April 2009. And the reason why we're talking about this today is because in March of this year, authorities announced that they felt that Karen Lutonen was the suspect of being the mother, or having dumped the body, involved in the death somehow of the baby. The baby had been named by the volunteers that found the discarded baby. They had called her baby Theresa, because the area that she was found in, the area that she was dumped in, was an area called Theresa, Wisconsin. And as a side note here, an important side note, the volunteers paid for a proper burial and a proper funeral for baby Theresa. So that's very nice. So Karen was approached by the authorities in March of this year, and they said, essentially, they let her know that she was a suspect in the death of baby Theresa. And Karen immediately came forward. She signed a plea agreement on the same day. On the same day, and within that, the story that she provides, and I don't mean that in a, I mean it legitimately. The account, rather, the account that she provided is that she gave birth. The baby seemed to be dead. The umbilical cord was wrapped around baby Theresa's neck, and she was very confident that the baby was dead. She also says that she passed out for give or take 15 minutes after birth, and then when she regained consciousness, she was able to confirm that the baby had died. So seemingly she gave birth in a bathtub on her own, April 2009. And the medical examiners and such haven't found any harm to the baby. So that corroborates with the lady's account, Karen Lutonen's account. So the medical examiners were able to say there were no traumatic injuries on the external examination. There were no skull fractures. There were no internal injuries. There was no decomposition. The cause of death was fetal demise. Fetal demise means the death of a baby whilst in their mother's uterus. So a miscarriage, early stillbirth, a stillbirth term. So that's the mother's account is corroborated, is supported by the medical examiners. The article tells us that the authorities were able to identify Karen as being the mother due to a maxi pad wrapper that was discarded, and that wrapper contained DNA, which they believed originated from a close female relative of the dead baby. And they were able to establish the connection between baby Theresa and Karen Lutonen as being the baby's mother. So that's the bulk of the story here. The lady hasn't been sentenced yet, but a recommendation or such has been put forward. So to give you a bit of an idea of what she is likely to be sentenced to, is between 1 and 1.5 years of confinement, between 12 months and 18 months in prison, in jail, and 2 years of extended supervision. So that's a fairly lightweight jail sentence, a short term, 12 to 18 months in jail. And honestly, I feel that it ought to be a very light sentence. I feel sorry for this lady. I mean, I feel sorry for baby Theresa too. It is disrespectful. I mean, I don't know the full words to use, but I mean, it's terrible that her body was dumped in the woods, discarded. But at the same time, for whatever reason, and I'm not quite sure of what the reasons are, but I do feel empathy, a lot of empathy towards mothers in this situation. I mean, she was on her own giving birth, as far as we're aware. The pregnancy was hidden from the father. The father was shocked when he was informed that he was the father. Um, and, you know, so I can imagine all of the difficulties that would be going through a woman's mind. Even though she wasn't a teenager at the time, you know, she was an adult. This happened in 2009. So that's 13 years ago. She's 46 now. So she would have been 33 at the time. I mean, she should have known better. Okay, fine. She should have known better. She shouldn't have done this. She shouldn't have done this. But I don't know. I feel some level of sympathy, and certainly she is not on the same level as the majority of the evil scumbags that I look at in these articles that have purposefully murdered their children. This was a stillborn. She did the wrong thing. She panicked and did the wrong thing. I think there's a certain level of humanity there. Having said that, she was 33. She should have known better. Um, but, you know, I don't know. I'll wrap things up here. Let me know what your thoughts are. Am I an idiot for feeling levels, you know, for feeling that this lady isn't so bad? Is she a lot worse than I'm realizing? Whatever. Just give me your feedback. I'll wrap things up. Thank you for your time.